Welcome back. It is yours truly, Nick, a movie AV Impulse, and I'm going to talk about the Shudder app yet again because these are series that you probably skipped out on or you missed out on. And I'm here to tell you that you should really go back and check these out because when it comes to horror stuff, it's not all just about the movie, it's actually more than that. So great that Shudder does things like this and they put out these movie type documentaries, and it's just awesome. You can really dive in and get a lot of history on these. So these are going to be series, documentaries, my 5 suggestions that you should definitely check out on the Shudder app. But first, let's get into that intro. Coming in at number 5, it's gonna be called Behind the Monsters. Now, this is a 6-part episode into our favorite slashers, and that's Michael Myers, Jason, Candyman, Freddy Krueger, Pinhead, and Chucky. So this is just like all the actors and producers, and it's like a little mini 45-minute each episode documentary on the whole making behind it, how scary they had to be, how impactful it was. So it's definitely one you don't want to miss out on. It is so cool just to learn the history on most of these horror movies and what it takes to really actually make them. I mean, 80s being my favorite decade of horror, it was just so mind blowing because of all of the practical effects that they had to use, not much CGI. And nowadays, a lot of that is taken away. Just sucks. So definitely check that one out. It's definitely worth a watch. Number 4 is an original series, which is going to be Creepshow. It is just basically a rebirth of the 82 classic film, which is now 41 years old. I can't believe that came out 41 years ago. And I remember watching it like it was yesterday. Part 2 being very close to almost being my favorite, but because I seen part 1 first, I think that really has an impact. Is this as good as the movies? No, but are they really cool, short episodes and give you that creep show vibe? Absolutely. It's definitely highly recommended. I would love for you guys to come back and say, hey, I did like those creep shows. They just really take a nice turn on a lot of these different episodes. So definitely check that one out. Coming in at number 3 is a Shudder original that they call Slasher, and this one's going to be Flesh and Blood. Now, Flesh and Blood is about a dysfunctional family, and they have a family reunion. They're all kind of a little psycho, if you ask me. And they go to this secluded island that nobody else can get to. But when they get to the island, they realize that there's a mass killer there. What you end up finding out at the end is it one of them in the family that is doing this? Or is it somebody outside of the family that doesn't like the family? The mask is kind of it's not like the greatest looking thing, but it still doesn't reveal much. And you really, at least I didn't guess who it was until the end of the season. The fighting for life and death in here, there are some where they really put up a struggle, and then there are some where you were like, come on, you could have put up a little bit of a better fight, of course. But that's just with every movie, every TV series, everything. You're always going to think that because you're not in the situation, right? Coming in at number 2, Eli Roth's History of Horror. And he sits down with a whole bunch of producers, actors, actresses, directors, and just talks about different movies, different genres of movies. He just goes on, and it's a shame that they stopped doing it. I believe it only ran for 2 or 3 seasons, which is a shame because it really is a good series, and I wish they would have continued with that. That Eli Roth one is definitely worth checking out because it is just awesome, especially when you're somebody like me who loves documentaries, loves horror, and wants to know more behind the movie. And coming in at number one, now this is my absolute favorite because not only are some of these stories debunked, kind of was like, I didn't even know that there was a thing behind this, but it's called Cursed Films. And they don't only just talk about horror, I mean, they talk about The Wizard of Oz, The Crow, but then they talk about other ones like, Poltergeist and all that, and the different rumors and are they true? Can they be debunked? All the different horror stories that happened on these sets. Of course, The Exorcist being one of them. So there are a lot of stuff in these little mini documentary episodes where they just break down everything and kind of either put to bed some of the rumors or whether it really happened or not. This is another one where I really wish they could have just kept this going for a long time, but for some reason it got canceled out, and maybe it's because there wasn't enough viewers on it. So that's why channels like me exist, because I want to shed light on some of these really great amazing series and movies that people just pass up on because they're not the original or they're not Chucky, and it just bothers me. Open up your mind and experience more. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this one. Shudder gives a 7-day free trial. Listen, I believe if you are a true horror fan, you love documentaries, you love TV shows, you love movies, and they have live channels. A lot of it is, overseas, UK horror, Korean horror, all that. But I mean, it's just so much to choose from. And I'm personally one of those ones where I don't care if I have to read subtitles. I've been doing it since I've been watching Kung Fu flicks. So subtitles don't bother me. Just involve yourself and go check out the Shudder app if you don't have it. Anyways, I will see you on the next one. Peace.